let's go to Pooja Shali also, who's standing by in the newsroom. Pooja, it's interesting to note that while the quantum of punishment for convicted Kashmiri Separatist leader Yasin Malik is going to be out any moment, and he's pleaded guilty to the terror funding charge as well, he's getting support from Mehbooba Mufti, Omar Abdullah and Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif.
Pakistan expectedly will be supporting Yasin Malik like they have been supporting all the terror groups, the terrorists, and given shelter to anti-India activities as well. So that is clearly not surprising. But I will make a mention here, if you look closely at the videos of Yasin Malik coming to the court today, he's carrying a file with him, and the reason for that is that he's chosen to fight the case himself. So a lawyer not representing him, he's directly putting forth an amicus curiae was there to explain the charges to him, but Yasin Malik has gone forward and done it. But importantly, when he says, I have dropped weapons now, I have followed the Gandhian principle, the question remains, when he had the weapons all those years, it led to killings, unrest, communal violence, exodus of a minority community and their killings as well, their ethnic cleansing, attacks at the armed forces. So all of that is now coming back to haunt him clearly, even though he says he's become a
while
Gandhian.
All of that will always haunt him, and the victims and their families today will seek justice. Today they want justice to come in full circle as well. But as far as this case is concerned, Pooja, will the arguments be entertained as far as those instances are concerned, or is the court going to be strictly restricting the arguments as far as the terror funding case is concerned and his defense for the death penalty as asked by the NIA?
That is a very important point and a question, Chaiti, because yes, today is primarily about funding terror, indulging in terror activities or anti-India activities, but primarily it were about the Hawala transactions, the financial dealings that were done, to which he's already pleaded guilty and he's not contesting the charges, which means it is likely to be as minimum as it can get a life term, as maximum as it can get a death penalty. It will be interesting to see what the NIA court eventually decides. But to your question, about the ethnic cleansing, exodus, all of that and the killings of Indian Air Force personnel may not be directly brought in and considered by the court at this moment. The court may want to make an observation on that. We cannot speculate, but today is primarily about financing terror and anti-India activities. But because Yasin Malik is a known former terrorist, he's a figure whose cases have been out in the open. So it's not that these need to be even mentioned.
Hence, Pooja, has there been any kind of legal precedence where there has been death penalty announced in the terror funding case? Because while there is a large sentiment and the NIA wanting capital punishment, because everyone knows about the Kashmiri exodus and the genocide as well in the valley, and the victims today await justice. This particular case, I come back, is on the terror funding bit.